Hey guys, this video is sponsored by DisturbedLore.com, a YouTube channel dedicated to animated horror stories. Make sure to go check them out if you like anything horror, if you want to stay up late at night being scared. Thank you. I believe in y'all. I believe in y'all.
Let's fucking go. Really do.
You already know.
I'm feeling the spot.
Damn, I didn't know we were gonna be in our bag today.
Yeah.
I will be a staple in the game.
He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the 0 to 100 podcast. I'm your co-host, Kash. We have here
Yo, Jose, we back.
and our editor,
What's going on? It's Nando.
and we also have two very special guests, Jack Denicola
How you doing? How you doing?
and Malik Silk Daddy Morris.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
How we doing?
All right.
So,
Sir, happy to be here.
my first question is, like, what is the music writing process for you? Like, how long does it take? What's kind of like your whole process as you go through when you write, when you get the beat and stuff?
I mean, usually the beat comes first, always. You know, I got some good producers up at Berkeley, up in Boston, you know, that feed me amazing beats. And then from there, it could take a day. It could take months. It could take weeks to write a song. It all kind of just depends on how I'm feeling and just kind of what comes to me in that moment. And it's kind of all over the place. I'm not going to lie when I'm writing music.
What's the longest it's ever taken you to like come out with a song or like write a song?
Probably like a year and a half.
Yeah? What song was that?
And that was a song I did back in the day called Slow Motion
Uh-huh.
with a good buddy of mine, Prod J, who I started making music with back in the day. So shout out to him.
That's
But yeah.
It's pretty cool. Who's like your inspiration when it comes to music?
Oh, I mean, first and foremost, like, I love The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty obvious if you see my socials. I was very angry about the Grammys, not gonna lie. But
already.
besides that, I mean, I gotta let them know how I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, The Weeknd for sure. Travis Scott, huge inspiration. Mac Miller, Pink Floyd also. A lot of classical rock. Just the way they did stuff back then, I really enjoyed.
I don't know if anybody remembers, but Jack would run around the high school hallways talking about how Astro was the greatest album of all time.
No, he did. He really did.
I remember gym class. He would go to each individual.
Listen, man.
Is Astro World the best album ever made or
How could
not?
you not like it?
Yeah.
How
You
could
go-
you
I
not
do not
Listen,
like
man.
it.
I'm not saying it's
It's
a
a great
bad
album. It's a great album.
I'm not saying it's a bad album, but is it the best?
Nah, it's not the best
Exactly.
ever, but like
Exactly.
when it came out, that was
That was
astronomical.
hype. It was hype.
Yeah, no,
It was
No
hype.
pun
Right.
intended. It was astronomical.
Yeah, at the
I
time.
That's
Travis
pretty
is
crazy.
the GOAT, one of the best.
What is your favorite part about your music?
I like to be a storyteller a lot of the time. I like to do something that's more than the music. I want to give people a full experience. I want to give them something to hold on to latch onto for years to come. So I think definitely the way I approach my music in a storytelling type of way, I think that's definitely the biggest quality that I have, beside the music itself.
Yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, we definitely feel that when we listen to your music. But how would you describe your music?
Open-minded.
Yeah.
You gotta give me a chance. You gotta give me a little room to breathe and let me explain myself and my music. And if you listen intently, I think you'll understand what I'm trying to convey in my music. It's very much a cautionary tale
Yeah.
for myself
We can
and
definitely
for
hear
other
that.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you who would you compare yourself with to another musician?
I would say people like Post Malone, Kid Cudi, like Billie Eilish, all people that have definitely blended many genres, and you can consider them genre-less artists. I like to consider myself that too, only because like there's so much beautiful music out there, and a lot of shit has already been done. So it just comes down to like trying new things and seeing what works and trying to find your own unique sound, which I feel like I've started to do, and it's
That's
very
good.
exciting.
Yeah.
What do you think differentiates your music from everybody else's music? Because I could say right now, your shit is raw.
Yeah,
It definitely is.
Thank
It
you.
definitely is.
Thank you. But I mean, honestly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out my way because I definitely have a lot of inspiration from the people, like I said. But I feel like I'm still finding a way to take all those qualities and make it my own.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm still trying to figure that out. But I mean, like I said, I'm trying to tell a story. I'm trying to tell a story you've never heard before, or you might have heard something like it, just a little different. So trying to switch things up a little
That's
bit.
cool. That's cool. Speaking of switching things up, we're gonna move a little bit to Malik, Silk Daddy Morris here. We're gonna come back to Jack in a little bit. I just want to know, how'd you come up with the name Silk Daddy? Like, what was going on?
So I don't know if you remember when we was in high school, there was a rapper, like he was probably 10 years old, named Big Pill. And he had this song called Silk Daddy, and like there was one line and he was like pulling up to the scene, Silk Daddy, and I was in the car, I was like, that shit is hard. It was like, it sounds a little weird at first, but I got to it. I ran with it, so that's just how it started. And then when I started rapping, it was just the first name I thought of to just have an artist name. So
and it goes well with you with the whole like
with the
do rag.
It
just kind of fits
because we saw you and we were like, the do-rag. It's a it catches your eye.
It's a statement. It's a statement.
He sends me a few songs last night. And then I'm like, all right, let me listen to these. And then I read the name and I'm just like, he's got to have a do-rag. Like, I'm like, that's the only thing I can think of. He's got to have a do-rag.
The thing is, I saw the picture of like what the covers look like, and I didn't expect the sound that I heard when it came from the music. And then all of a sudden I heard it, and it just fit even better than what I thought in my head.
Exactly.
I'm like, the do-rag just makes it. It's just,
it just,
the do-rag is fire.
It's the only way I record the music, the only way like I'm happy about presenting the music and everything. It's the whole image and the character that goes behind it. So
what kind of demographic are you looking to like attain through your music?
I wouldn't say not a specific demographic, like not boys or girls or not black or white and anything. It would just be somebody who's been through something in life. You have to have experiences. Like if you haven't experienced anything and you haven't been uncomfortable or been sad and then have been happy, you're not going to understand my music or even appreciate it.
Yeah, because from what I've heard, your music is like an emotional roller coaster.
100%.
I've definitely heard it. Your music is an emotional roller coaster. Like, what about you? I asked Jack this question. What about you stands apart from the rest?
100% authentic.
Yeah.
In any way, and I'm aware that sometimes when I am authentic, it can be bad, but that's just how I am and that's how I was raised. So what you see is what you get. What I feel is what you're gonna get, and that's just how it is. So I don't feel like a lot of people do that because of the artists and the artistry. You want to protect it and kind of have a safeguard. But with me, it's you see right through whatever you get. So.
Yeah, cause I really appreciated like the unique voice you have. Yeah. Especially how it flows so well with the lyrics you use.
I'm not gonna lie to you. And I was like, yo, this is a vibe. Like, I was like,
exactly.
I only listen to his unreleased stuff in the car. I just play it over and over again.
Yeah. Unreleased is way better than anything that's out.
Yeah. I put both of your songs, like all your music, in my playlist the second I heard it.
Absolutely.
I was like, I heard Showtime. I was like, oh,
speaking of music, Showtime banger.
Start off,
banger.
That's a banger.
Hold on.
I listened to it and I'm like, I could picture this song being played like right before like a playoff series or something like that.
Yeah, no, we were talking like
absolutely.
right before this, like pre-Super Bowl, like or like a Super Bowl halftime show. Boom, Showtime by Jack Denicola.
That would be crazy.
Sing it for
Yeah,
live.
exactly.
Who knows? One day, you never know.
I mean, that's the dream. That's the
the dream. That's the goal.
What's the live performances looking like for you, Jack?
I mean, it's a little different right now, you know, because of COVID with everything. I'm talking to my team, and we're trying to figure out stuff to do over the summer. You know, maybe some live stream performances, as many of those as we can. But other than that, I'm just kind of waiting, you know, to see how stuff opens up and kind of just waiting until then. But, you know, I still got the album on the way, so that'll be out. And once that's out, you know, everything else will kind of
You got an appointed time for this album?
Yes.
But
I would.
I
was gonna say if he says it, we'll just wait. We'll release it.
I was about to say, come on, let's get the statement out.
Not yet.
Okay.
You gotta try.
Very soon, though. Very soon. I promise. For real this time. For real this time.
I mean, we've been waiting what, 2 years at this point.
Late spring, for sure.
Late spring.
How do you think your music has changed from when you dropped So Alone back in junior year of high school to Showtime now?
Wow. I mean, damn, back when I started, that was just a lot different of a person, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot different of a Jack Denicola. Honestly, as funny as it sounds, like I was a whole different human being before, you know, I came out to Boston and I kind of, you know, started becoming a young adult and learning about myself a little more. And I think it definitely comes out in my music. You can tell that I've been through a little more, you know. Everyone's kind of been going through it since like a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm just trying to tell my part of the story and tell how I feel, and hopefully I can, you know,
Your music
help other people find solace.
It's definitely matured from way back then.
Absolutely.
You could definitely hear it
Thank you.
in your voice.
Yeah.
Especially
I mean, like, I make my music based off raw emotion. I don't go for genre, like I said.
Yeah.
I go off whatever emotion I'm feeling. That's the song that's gonna come out, and at the end of the day, it could be happy, could be sad, could be angry, could be anything.
Yeah. Speaking of like, you don't care about what genre you come out with. You come out with some songs before that Fernando was talking about it earlier that you posted and they were bangers. We all liked them, and then they ended up getting deleted. Yeah.
Especially
talking about
Bittersweet.
I
hit
had
him up on
people come up and
Instagram.
talk to me about Bittersweet and why it's not like available anymore. And I'm like,
Oh my
I don't
God.
talk to Jack. I don't know.
Wait. I hit him up on Instagram a couple months ago because I couldn't find it anywhere. I was so upset.
Listen, I was thinking about it. I might put it back on SoundCloud for sure, but
You heard
I
it
don't
here
know.
first.
I don't know if
Exclusives.
I don't know if it's ever hitting DSPs again, but we'll see.
All right.
We'll see. You know, you never.
Well, how did that song make you feel like when you first dropped it?
Bittersweet?
Yeah.
That was cool. I mean, because it was a lot different from So Alone. You know, it was just a lot different of a vibe. And I did it with a feature first time with a rapper, so it was kind of cool. Shout out to Kyle. But yeah, bro. It was pretty cool. But I mean, I've definitely moved on from that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 100% me. I think a lot of me and my emotion was in it, but not as much as it is today.
Yeah.
In my music.
That was what, senior year?
That was all senior year.
Yeah.
So
I
Alone,
feel like-
and then
I feel like so far from what I've heard with your music, it's gone from So Alone was like this like kind of sad track, and then it's like it's gotten more positive over time, especially now with Showtime, how it's gotten up there.
Yeah.
What kind of trend are you going for next with your next song? Are you trying to make it like an emotional, like sad beat song, or like something to like inspire somebody?
next song that's coming out, I will say that's coming out in April, early
Okay.
April. So that'll
Ready
be
here.
out.
There we
are
go.
getting a single.
Now
before
we're getting exclusive
no.
right now.
Alright, see, we're getting.
You got
we're getting
Showtime,
somewhere.
you get one more and maybe two more, you know, and
Yeah.
then the album. But yeah, the next one's pretty cool. I got a really cool feature on there from one of my buddies up at school. Shout out to Lil Zay.
Oh.
But I also got my guitarist on there, who's also my roommate. Shout out to J-Raw. But yeah, so we're gonna make a pretty cool song. I think it's definitely a pop song, a lot more poppy, alternative pop, but
Yeah.
some heavy guitar in there. So I feel like it'll be something different than what you've heard in the past. So
That's heat.
All
That's
right.
heat. Speaking of future projects, Silk Daddy.
Yeah.
What kind of future projects you been working on?
I have a lot of unreleased music. About 2 weeks ago we had a studio session, and I think I recorded possibly one of my best songs I recorded. So
Yeah.
that's a up. As far as projects go, I don't want to really get into that. I'd rather wait until I have a
Set-
ready audience
set like
that really wants
Yeah.
it, and then I'll definitely give it, because I'm able to do the music whenever, and I'll give it to them when they want it. But I don't want to oversaturate the market with
Yeah.
music. that
Yeah,
they
I know what you
necessarily
mean.
don't
I know
want.
what you mean.
Yeah. that makes
You
sense.
brought up the topic of studio, and I'm gonna ask both of you guys this question, but starting with Malik first. How much time do you spend in the studio?
Shit. Well, okay, real studio, like a studio that I could actually record in, I would say about probably twice a month. But every day in my house, if it's either on my phone or on my laptop, I'm making
Grinding.
songs like on the voice memos.
Yeah.
Over the beats, I'm constantly making songs. Even while I'm driving, sometimes a
Yeah.
lyric comes to my head, I'll write it down. So it's
Yeah.
like songs are always being made constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
What
yeah.
about you?
Pretty much when I'm up in Boston, it's every day. Kind of just the way it's situated. My producer, shout out to Bobby Castro and Soren. But we record in their apartment on a 24 Haviland, and I just recorded in his closet. We took all the clothes out of his closet. Took all the clothes out of my producer's closet.
man.
We soundproofed the entire closet. It sounds great, and you know, it's easy access. You know, come right back in. The computer's right there. We're doing everything recording, so
That's crazy.
it's honestly just every
Wild.
day. Kind of just walk a mile over to his crib, and then we're making hits.
That's wild.
That's amazing.
What would you say is the worst part about being a musician,
Um,
other than recording in a closet?
not even just a musician. Not even just a musician. The worst part about being a vocalist is
Yeah.
like my instrument is not separate from my body.
Mhm.
So I need to treat my body good for my voice to be good. If I'm not treating my body
Yeah,
good,
no,
my voice doesn't sound good.
So
So like I'm definitely feeling that a little bit, especially living on my own, you know, cooking for yourself and everything. So
Yeah.
like sometimes, you know, I'm cooking great dinners, other times I'm falling off the ball and I'm going to Wendy's like
Yeah.
4 times in a week.
Yeah.
I felt that. I felt that.
I did it one time, I think I did it 5 times in 3 days. That was my worst. But like
Shit.
Five
Crazy.
times.
I can
Yeah,
relate.
I don't know what was
I mean,
happening.
I felt that. I felt
Sometimes you
that.
just don't want to
Wendy's
go
is
home.
addicting.
Oh no, I agree. That shit
I lived
amazing.
on Mass
Maybe the
Ave,
only
right
thing
where
you crave
Berkeley
is-
is.
Bro, I was at home writing down listening to your music and writing down questions and things like that. I ordered Popeyes twice yesterday. I got Popeyes twice.
Popeyes
yesterday.
chicken
I
sandwich
was
is
like,
amazing.
yeah, I was like, that chicken sandwich. That
Best
shit.
That's,
chicken
that's the
sandwich.
worst. When you
Best
try
chicken
it, it's good, and then you're like, damn,
you finish,
I
you
really
like,
need some
I
more of
should've-
that.
I could go
some
for
more of
another
that.
one.
Me
Wait,
too.
till
I
I
should
get
order
there.
two.
You know, I don't think I should do that.
I gotta order that
Like
shit.
now I
saw
should-
me. Hopefully the shift changes. I need
Yeah.
something different to pick up.
Yeah.
No, but the problem with the Wendy's is it was right across the street from my dorm.
I
I could get a
No,
biggie bag,
my
$5,
house-
5 minutes, biggie bag, back to my dorm.
Yeah.
My house is a block away from a Burger King, so I'm there all the time.
They know what they was doing.
Yeah, no.
It's an apartment complex.
They said there's a lot of people living here,
got
so if we
that.
put one here, we'll be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, all right. Let's go back to the music.
Yeah.
So I heard Damaged.
Yes.
Like I just want to say, who hurt you? Like,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, how do I get a
Choose
roundabout
wisely.
way? Yeah, choose
Yeah,
wisely.
choose-
choose wisely.
Choose
Yeah.
your words
You can
I will
always
say this. I will say this.
Yeah.
There was a point in time in my life. I'm not the relationship type of person.
Yeah.
I'm just a very monogamous person. I just go about and see what the vibe is. But there was a point in time in my life where I did have a certain person that I did care about,
yeah.
and things just didn't go right. Not
Yeah.
everybody's fault, but just time and place wasn't right.
Yeah.
And the song is kind of overzealous and just exemplifies the part of how I was feeling, where it was like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
When it really wasn't the person's fault. It was just how I was feeling in that moment. So that song is kind of like, yo, it's your fault and I'm damaged because of you.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
whoever sees me from now on, I'm damaged because of this person.
Yeah, and it's like everybody, we all synchronize with it because everybody who's been in a relationship where it's like stuff has happened to them and like
Yeah.
you've broken up, you find a reason to like fault
To
the
blame-
other person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Like
I-
even if it's not the other person's fault,
Yeah.
You find like the
you
littlest thing.
find a reason to make it their fault.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
the ego
And-
thing.
exactly.
It's,
It's
you don't
an
want to
ego
be
thing.
like, I really got hurt, or like I
Yeah.
like that person so much and I let my guard down that they hurt me. And it's like at the end of the day, that's the beautiful thing about love, that you let your guard down to be able to get hurt.
That shit is raw. You realize that.
Yeah.
That shit is
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So like,
Damn, I didn't know we were gonna be in our bag today.
Yeah,
yo, I heard Damage. I was like, I gotta
No,
go
it's 'cause they didn't watch my episode. They didn't watch my episode.
Please don't get me started with it. I'll talk for an hour.
Bro, now I heard Damage. I was like, I gotta talk about this song because
Yeah.
any song with emotion is great for an interview.
It's
You know
hard
what
to
I mean?
fake that emotion. You can
Exactly.
say a happy emotion, but to
Yeah.
fake a sad emotion, you could tell.
Yeah, people say the best music is sad music, emotional
It
music.
is.
It is.
Honestly.
100% agree.
Because it's real, it's genuine.
Yeah, that song hurt.
At the end of the day.
I was into it. Like, I don't know if I want to put this out there.
How long did it take you to write up that song and come out with it?
Probably within a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Look at
I
this
was-
guy.
Yo,
Look at
I
high
was-
roller over here. Real
It's
efficient.
so light. Like,
That
intro.
happened, and what's funny, I released the song later, but I wrote that song the day it happened in school. I was in school when I wrote that song.
Really?
Wow.
Matter of
You were-
fact, I was in Mr. Whitfield's class.
Oh,
Yo,
religion
shout
class.
out Mr. Whitfield.
Yes, bro. And I'm in there with my boy Eric Abrego. He probably remembers the story. And I was writing in my book, and I was like, bro, I'm feeling it today. Like, I'm sad. I don't want to be in
there.
school, bro. And he was like,
there?
just write in the book. And I wrote it. And then a year later, I looked back at the book, and I was like, this song is like a song that I could actually record. So,
What about are all like your other emotional songs like 365? I heard that was pretty emotional. Like, is
Yeah.
that like based on the same person or somebody different?
Yes, that is actually based on the same
Yeah?
person. Yeah, that song is it's just me remembering on the moment of that relationship
Reminiscing,
and just
yeah.
being like,
Yeah.
I think about, because in the moment when you break up with a person, you know, a guy, you're like, fuck it, I'm done. I
Yeah,
can't talk to you.
it's
I'm
in the
done.
moment.
No,
and then
yeah.
After about a day or two,
So I'm looking back on the relationship a year later, and I'm like, it's 365 every day. I'm thinking about you. Like
yeah,
every day, I just keep on thinking about it. And it's like, what am I doing?
yeah.
Like it's just
It
an
gets
endless
tiring.
fight. Yeah, it does.
fucking
It's
my dude.
exhausting. Yeah.
You can't expect anybody to forget someone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A
Someone that
real
has-
raw
have-
connection.
it doesn't
you just
happen
can't
like
forget
that.
it like
somebody
that.
that has
doesn't
that
happen
much of an effect on you, it's not gonna leave your head that
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Bro, you-
Coronavirus.
My fault. No. What's on the road too? No, not Corona, not Corona. I'm safe. I got the vaccine.
They won't catch it
Tested.
to the camera. Yeah.
Hey, you right.
I'm going.
You know what? They right. They right.
He good. He good.
You don't gotta
chilling.
tell it to them. Fuck them.
All right, now back to speaking of sad music, Jack. So the first song I heard about was like you came out with was "So Alone." Let's talk about that a little bit. What was going on in your head when you first released it? Because that's the song that I started to know you from, and that's the first song that I pretty much everybody knows was like your first release. What was going on in your head when you
from
first
back
released
from
that?
high school.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like that was just me trying to, come up with something that I thought I could, pull from my own past and my own emotions and kind of just see where stuff was at. Around that time, I had just recently broke up with someone. Not necessarily that important, but
Yeah.
it just like I tried to, just write how I felt for the first time without anybody else's help. And, that's kind of what I came up with. And then I brought it to Evan, and then we worked on it, and it came what it is today. And I still love that song. That's still one of my favorite songs to this day that I've made.
I love that song.
Oh,
I know.
no.
I still listen to it.
I still listen to it all the time.
Yeah, I still listen to it all the time. I think it's fire.
It will always have a special place in my heart, and I hope that one day people can understand that's like why I started there.
Didn't you draw the cover for that?
I did.
He did.
I did help Jack.
Fernando made the cover for that.
I made
Shout
the
out
cover
to
art for that
Fernando.
song. I did.
He made the cover for that song.
So
That's
what
crazy.
was it like your first time recording?
My first time recording was with my friend Evan, also known as Project, like I said before, up in his apartment when he used to live around me. And that's when we made a song before that, which I never released, and then we made So Alone.
Mhm.
And that was the one I was like, all right, like, this is a start. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I feel like this is a good start. And we released that, and we went from there, and it's been fun ever since.
crazy.
Honestly, it's a fun thing making music. It's interesting.
Definitely.
We're talking about the first songs that we heard from you, pretty much. So I kind of want to learn, like,
wait.
what first got you into music?
Definitely my dad.
Yeah.
He very much influenced why I love music so much. He had me listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was like 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
And that definitely stuck with me. And then when I was a little bit older, like 9 years old, he took me to go see Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you know anything about that,
Yeah.
it's a
It's
crazy,
like a crazy
story
visual
about
experience.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So, like,
Yeah.
why not bring a 9-year-old there, right?
Yeah.
Music is flawless.
Oh my god.
He brought me there, and that concert absolutely changed my life. And I'm so happy he brought me, because you don't bring a 9-year-old. Like, you
don't
don't
bring a
see many
9-year-old
young
to-
kids going to a concert like that, especially something that's so twisted in the head like that, the way that Pink Floyd wrote that, which is absolutely beautiful. And definitely where I get a lot of my inspiration from when I say I want to be a storyteller in my music. It's definitely coming from that album and other albums like it, the rock operas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shout out to my dad for bringing me that concert and really just showing me my love for music. Other than that, it was also his mother, which was my grandmother.
Yeah.
Now, if you know me at all from high school, I did a show called The Music Man,
Yes,
which is
sir.
a very classical,
Yes,
Two
sir.
very
Leads.
classic musical that a lot of people know. If you know theater, you know that musical, obviously. And like, I played Harold Hill in that, and he's the main character and everything. He's the star of the show. He's the whole show. And I learned after I got the role that was my grandmother's favorite show, and she had passed away when I was in 8th grade. I was about 13 years old. So kind of just like the turning point of like being a teenager, and I feel like I didn't get close enough with her. And I realized after the fact of how much she loved music and how good of a singer she was, how good of a dancer she was. And also my grandfather was a painter, artist. He was a teacher at Nassau County, like teaching art.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, all my love for music comes from that side of the family. And it's like, I wish I had more time to talk to her about that, but I hope that I'm making her proud. And in a way, I feel like me making music is like my apology in a sense for being too young. And I know I can't fault myself for this, but being too young and kind of not knowing these things about her beforehand. Like, I felt like I should have, but I hope I'm making her proud now that I'm doing
No,
the
definitely.
things the way I'm doing.
I
The
definitely
music
think
you're
you
making
are.
is really good, man.
It is.
I'd be proud of you. Yeah, I'm
Nah,
proud.
Thank
100%.
you.
But yeah, so now that you spoke about theater and the arts, and I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Tear it up a little bit.
Tear it up
Yeah.
a little bit.
So other than that, how much of an impact was like the theater for you? How big of an impact was theater for you?
Oh, huge. I mean, as soon as I started theater, and a lot of shout outs here, but shout out to Will Brennan.
Yeah, Will
Will
Brennan.
Brennan.
William
As many people as
Arthur
you want.
Peter
One of
Brennan.
my absolute
My man.
one of my absolute brothers from high school who really he forced me to do theater, the spring musical, freshman year. And I was like, I don't know why I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. And after that, I fell in love with theater so much. It just gave someone like me just a lot of confidence as a young performer, which I had a lot of stage fright at first, surprising enough. But
You can't tell.
I couldn't tell by the time I got to senior year.
I did 3 musicals with this man. This man has the most confidence
a
I have
natural. You
ever
look like a
seen
natural up there.
on a human.
Thank you.
So, you still going?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, like, just based off that, it just gave me a lot of comfort, too, and allowed me, also has to do with, like, the storytelling aspect of, like, I got to take on these different characters and their lives, their fabricated lives, and bring them to life in the way that I saw fit. And I very much wanted to do that in my music and have my own little character, you know, based off my own emotions, my own situations, and kind of putting it in a way that could be, you know, very interesting and a good story to tell.
You know, I think it's really interesting that most people who like start out in the theater arts like try to segue into other things. Some people do end up going into the theater afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I did theater in high school, but not as long as you have. I started in junior year, and I started going to college for musical theater. But on the side, when I was like a senior, I started writing music. Wow.
You started writing
music, but I couldn't. I've never found like a way to record it, and like that's always been like my biggest block. But for you, somebody who started out in the theater arts and actually went into like making all types of your own music, that's really good. I actually, because I love your music. That it just
Thank
hits.
you, bro. Thank you.
Like, I don't know.
Thank you,
every
bro.
time I hear a song, it's like all the emotion. It just like it hits the core.
And that's why like I'm calling it Showtime and everything. It's like I'm trying to welcome you to a show. I don't do theater anymore. That's a part of my life that I loved, and I'm not saying I'll never do it again in my future, but for right now, I like the path that I'm on, and I feel like I want to be a theatrical character. I want to give you a show. I want to be like a ringleader. You know what I mean? The Grand Master. Yeah. Like, I want to give you a show. So at the end of the day, that's what I feel like I'm trying to do. And I won't tell you much about the album or the stuff I have planned for the future, but it's definitely very like theater oriented in the sense of like my albums, I want them to be called like acts. Like Act 1, Act 2, you know, stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see. I got a lot up my sleeve.
Can't
in the
wait.
Next coming
Can't
years.
wait.
Yeah, honestly, that's exciting. So
I've been plotting for a while.
This next question,
I've had a lot of time to overthink every part of my artistry. So.
Yeah, like 2 years since we like. When was the last before Showtime? How long of a gap was there between that and the last song you dropped?
Almost a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost a year, and probably about a year and a half since I talked about releasing a project. Because I said that in high school a lot, and it just never came to fruition. So it's serious. It's not.
Yeah, okay.
That's dope. That you didn't give up. It's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope.
I
You
always
didn't give
say
up.
it, but it's happening this time, and I'm very excited.
What song of yours is your favorite?
The next one.
The
next
okay.
one?
The one the single that's dropping?
No, just the next one that I make.
Oh, okay.
I always my favorite song is the next song that I make because I'm always trying to get better. But honestly, there's a song on my album. It's the third song on the album, and I'll just say it's called Clockwork. When you hear that one, you'll understand why.
All right.
Oh really? Oh okay. What about
very sad boy one?
What about you, Malik? What's your favorite song?
My favorite song that I have out would probably be Damage, just because of the intimacy, and it was my first song that I ever recorded and writ. So that would be it. But my favorite song is an unreleased song I have called Enigma, and that'll be coming out sometime this year for you guys. So definitely,
that's my favorite song by him.
Really?
I bumped that at least 10 times a day since he sent it to me, and that was like a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll play that for you after this. That shit is fire.
Oh really? Oh,
let's go.
We got the exclusives.
Damn. So where do you see yourself in your future with this whole music career going?
Definitely I want to be a household name, not just in music, but in entertainment and all. Like that's what I saw myself as a kid always, was just an entertainer. Like my favorite artist, like we was talking about before, was Michael Jackson. And as anybody knows, Michael Jackson is just not a musician, he's an entertainer. So I'm trying to be an entertainer and just dominate media in all sense. Yeah.
So like I asked you about your future, but where do you see yourself, let's say 5 years from now?
Definitely me and Jack have some ideas. I would not say that I would be on a label, but I would definitely have my own label, and I will be a staple in the game.
Oh, really?
Matter of fact, yes, that would be a staple in the game.
Bold statement.
What about you, Jack? Where do you see yourself 5 years? And then I'm going to ask you the future.
I mean, hopefully same spot. I mean, we're trying to take over the world together. So
yeah,
at the end of the day,
100%.
I believe in y'all. I believe in y'all.
Let's
I believe in you.
Really do.
Let's go, boys.
quick dap up.
You already know.
I'm feeling the spot.
Absolutely.
What about YouTube? I've been talking about your music, but when is the collab coming between you two?
Yeah.
Wait, the what?
The collab between you two.
The two of you.
The collab between us?
Yeah.
We got.
I mean,
funny story. We were supposed to have
Oh,
a
no.
song drop today.
Really?
we were supposed to have a song out
We
today.
was going to get the crepes, right? And I'm in the car. I'm like, yo, Jack, our song was supposed to drop today. He's like, yeah, bro, what's the problem with that? I was like, I don't know what's going on, bro. And I look at it. I look at my TuneCore. it's like incomplete. I'm saying, damn,
I tried to
bro.
play it in the car. I'm like, Malik, this is not on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm like, bro.
He's like, what?
I'm
like, yeah, this is not on Spotify. I'm like, did you post about it already? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you might want to take that down.
Yeah. So definitely a collab between us will be coming in a week.
Yeah.
I'll say that, and then we have another one coming in about when the album drops. I'm gonna definitely put another one out there to
I feel
support.
like you two, both of you guys' flow would definitely fit in, like meshing.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Well.
It's kind of crazy. You'll see.
Yeah, we have
it's
a song
crazy.
after the pod. We'll show you another one. We got a song that we have.
Yo, two exclusives?
And that one's emotional. You want to talk about emotion? That's emotional.
All right.
We're all about emotions, as you can see. We're very
Bunch of
sad
sad.
people. No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
You gotta get it out. You know?
Sad boys.
So, what did you want to ask about a collab?
Oh no. It wasn't about the collab specifically, but it was more of a question of, so what like kind of advice do you have for people who want to start making music like right now? Like what if?
In terms of making music, you know, it sounds cliche, but be yourself. Yeah. Honestly, because if you try to be someone else, you're not going to be satisfied at the end of the day, because you're always going to have this idea of yourself in your head. And if you don't surround yourself with the people that are going to help you see what you want to be and see your vision all the way through, then you're not going to be happy with the product if you're just trying to copy somebody else. And other than that, aside from the music, you just got to be professional at the end of the day. And that's how you keep good relationships with people. Like, at the end of the day, it's not music friendship, it's music business. Yeah. But the reason why I feel like me and Silk Daddy over here have such a great relationship is because we care a lot about each other as friends, but we also know how to work together, and we also understand what we need to do business-wise. The same thing with all my boys up at Berkeley. Miss them. See them soon. But, yeah, honestly, just trying to be professional as possible, you know, no hiccups.
Yeah.
That's how me and Kash are with this shit, you know?
Yeah.
Me and him, we haven't missed a single episode.
Yeah.
We hear every single
I'm
week.
very
You already
legal
know.
with this shit.
Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
like when you do something, you have to actually like it. Like
Yeah.
you can't just do it and be like, oh, I want to make music just so I could like be famous to get girls and have stuff like that. Like you could do that and you could possibly make the music, but it's not gonna hit the same. Like
Yeah,
people
you're
are
not
not
gonna
You
be
need
happy.
the
You're not gonna
passion.
be happy.
It's the passion that makes it makes it good.
100%.
Absolutely. If you're making music with no passion, then
Then what's the
People
point?
feel it.
I don't really know what
I
you're
always
doing.
thought about it like this. You're at the Thanksgiving dinner table and somebody asks you what you work as. And if you say what you actually are you going to like be happy with that answer?
That's the thing though. 9 times out of 10, those people who are actually making music, when they sit at that Thanksgiving table and somebody says, well, what are you doing? Oh, I have a job and I work at JCPenney. They don't really say I'm a rapper. Guarantee you, somebody in my family walks up to me today, starting from the point where I am right now, they say, Malik, what are you doing? Shit, I'm going to college, but at the end of the day, I'm making music.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Exactly.
I make music. That's all I do. So
you know,
that's what it is.
you gotta get a good
dive into it.
education while you can.
Yeah,
You know what I
obviously.
mean?
Well, if you have the opportunity,
We're
you gotta
also-
do it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
We're also
to college,
trying
yeah.
to
I'm
do
still
something a little, you know,
And props,
out of the ordinary.
props. I know it's hard to manage both of them. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, like the schoolwork and
the podcast. We got the podcast, and we all go to school.
It's
a
just-
God
lot.
forbid you want to have a life after. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god, bro. My girl, bro. Oh my god,
It's a
dude.
it's
It's
a
so much.
awful triangle. But it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's like school is just such a low energy thing sometimes, and when
Yeah.
you're a high energy person, it's just doesn't mesh very well.
especially nowadays that everything's online. It's
Oh,
like
it sucks.
It's
It's
horrible.
there's so
brutal.
much less
It's so brutal.
It's
motivation.
horrible.
Yeah.
It's sad too, honestly, because I know I wouldn't be feeling the way I do about school if it wasn't for
Yeah,
the
Exactly.
I
way
was
that it
talking
is.
about this recently to my girl, and I was talking about how I don't want to attend my classes, even though I'm to the point in college where you're doing all the classes for your major and stuff like that, because it's online and because I'm not having that
Absolutely.
interactive experience
Exactly.
with somebody else.
It's the lack of intimacy of like having the interaction with a teacher.
Absolutely.
It makes you less motivated to do anything. And like it's so easy to just look up all the answers online for everything.
Yeah.
That like
And
what's
you can
what's
cheat
the
on
point?
any test,
Yeah.
whether you choose to do that or not. Like,
100%.
You already know we got to pass.
But like what's the at that point, what's the point?
Yeah, I was enjoying school a hell of a lot more before COVID.
oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I started
Absolutely.
college and I was in it. Like I was.
It was.
Doing what I
It
had
felt
to
like
do.
a dream. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly.
It was like finally, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to
I
be.
feel like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and everything went to shit.
Yeah,
100%.
it's because especially because you feel like you're your own person at that point. You're starting to like develop.
Exactly.
You're on your own pretty much, and you got to do your own thing, and you got to go to class. All of a sudden, they're like, you can't do that anymore. You have to sit and just get up, go to your desk, and just listen to it for an hour and a half or something like that.
I can barely roll out of bed when I have to walk to my class. How do you expect me to roll out of bed when I can go to class in my bed?
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't sat in a single class, to be honest. I've just turned it on and sat there.
Turn it on, and I slept through it.
It's sad too, and like I go to music school, so you would think like, oh, it's like fine, it's still music, but like music is such a very much an intimate thing, and you know that. And you know that it's like you gotta. It's a very much a hands-on experience, especially when you're learning, different instruments. Like I don't want to take a voice lesson when I'm when I'm all the way across the country from my teacher. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially like voice lessons.
At that point, it just feels like a masterclass.
Exactly.
Or something like, and I could just go pay a lot less for a masterclass.
Exactly. It just
so at the end of the day, I'm holding out. Holding out just to see what happens. Hopefully, there's some in person very soon. Or
hopefully,
more of a hybrid, but.
I think by a year from now, I think things should be
a year from now.
I know, right?
We just went through a year.
We just went through a year.
That means we went through 2 years of COVID.
Hey, bro, I remember thinking, all right, this shit gonna be done by April a year ago.
Facts,
and then
bro.
all of a sudden, we still here.
This shit took on my whole college year.
Exactly.
I haven't been to college. I've been in COVID.
The second we started doing online, I stopped enjoying it. I was just like, this isn't even like this.
I agree.
I'm like, I'm just wasting money at this point.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like, yeah.
And I saw how easy college was. Like you don't like even when we go back to regular college, kids will see you really don't have to do shit in college.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
It's not as hard as people like tried to tell you it was in high school.
Especially
they won't accept this in college.
Especially the first 2 years where it's like general classes.
You have a genuine conversation with your professor, he'll probably just give you an A for that.
Happy as hell. Like,
honestly.
What's going on? Whoa.
If a professor likes you, that's like some of the best stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Like for grades, but also just like you have like, especially if it's in your major, you have a possible mentor or something.
Have a conversation.
And like at the end of the day, college isn't for everyone, but other people do other things. You know what I mean? But it's also not that bad if you're just trying to do it the way everyone else is trying to do it. If you're trying to go to law school or something, that's a lot harder. I commend people that
people who go to
law school, medical school, anything like that.
Right here, when we were growing
up, all power
up,
to you. That's amazing. Like I couldn't do that, and I know I can't do that. That's why I do music.
Yeah, no, this man, when we were kids, every time anyone asked him what he wanted to be grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
I made mama proud.
That's awesome. Where do you go to school right now?
SUNY Plattsburgh. I'm not studying to be a lawyer.
He switched up.
I wanted to be a lawyer, and I was like, they make bank, they get money,
okay,
and they law and stuff like that. I watched Law and Order. I like Law and Order.
Law and Order, fine.
Yeah, it is fire.
Watching a TV show gets you in trouble.
I didn't know much of like the logistics about it though, so I look it up. I saw 12 years of school. I was like, switch up real quick. I was like,
$200,000.
This is college, and then it's a law school.
One of my brothers is doing that right now, and he's right at the end, and he's pushing.
A lot of work. Especially if you're
pushing.
You don't
he's right at the
college
end
until 30. Like,
especially if you fail. If you fail that last exam, you have to like retake the whole course pretty much.
What, the bar?
Insane. Yeah, the bar.
Yeah, if you fail it.
If I fail the bar, I'm going to the bar.
That ass. But yeah. So you're studying music, right?
Yeah, I'm majoring in songwriting, but I think I'm gonna switch it up to do something called professional music, which just kind of gives me a concentration in different places. So like business, performance, and continuing my songwriting.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's weird. Music school is
different.
Very different.
Very different.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just very different. Like my homework is writing a song, and then they try to give me a grade on it. You can't really put a grade on music at the end of the day.
Because they could not like it, fail, and then everybody else
can
like it.
It's not like their perspective. It's your perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, they could give you pointers and they could give you feedback to help you make stuff better. But at the end of the day, trying to put a letter grade on stuff that's like so personal is just kind of a crazy concept. But obviously, at the end of the day, it's school and they're just trying to teach you something. So they gotta grade you somehow. Obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird. Like my family has definitely had to get used to that, especially over quarantine, me trying to do my homework and I'm just like singing at the top of my lungs in class and they're like, what's going on in Jack's room? And I'm just doing all these weird things. I'm strumming my guitar loud, like 9 a.m. Everyone's trying to sleep. I'm like, I got homework. This is my guitar company class. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. What about you, Malik? What are you majoring in?
Psychology.
Really?
Really?
That's a tough one.
We got here, man.
Yeah. I mean, shit, cerebral when it comes to the music. It's all purposeful. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my
Man,
roommate
that
took,
one, he had that line prepared.
my roommate, shout out George, he took a psychology class and he wasn't having it.
Bro, psychology is hard. When I first came into college, that's what I was doing, and then I switched to criminal justice because I was like, psychology is way too hard, and then I was like, criminal justice is way too hard. So now I was like, honestly, this whole college thing is just out of hand. I'll just go back to what I was majoring originally. So.
Yeah, it is out of hand. Because you really got to be passionate in what you're majoring in to stick with it.
Yeah, and especially like if you're like me and you're doing something on the side that you're also passionate about, it's like, do I really even want to get a real job at the end of the day? Which I don't. That's why it's like
We've all asked
I'm
ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, what
I
am I
don't want a
doing?
9 to 5. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's not a
Respectfully.
plan.
Not
To
the
be
vibe.
honest.
It's
Definitely not it.
I'd be shocked if that's what I wind up doing. So
Yeah, that's definitely not the truth. So now that we're talking to you, how did you come up with that unique voice that you have? Because I think it's fire. But
it's just how I sound.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I'm thankful that you like it. Though.
yeah. I think it's fire.
No, it's so good. It's so
It
good.
flows so well.
Nah, yeah.
I
That's just how I
genuinely-
talk.
Yeah, I found that different artists have like they have the way that they speak usually, and then once they step into the booth or whatever, their voice, it just kind of changes to whatever they are for their music. So
I mean,
it's nice
I
to,
guess you could say as a kid, I never really I listened to rap, but it wasn't my favorite thing to listen to. I like to listen to like songs. Like I was a singer type of kid. I was in the chorus and all that. So like I would listen to Michael Jackson.
I felt that. That's
Yeah, like I'm listening to Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, Usher, and like you listen to their songs, it's predominantly high pitched voices. So I talk like this right now, so my voice is not high pitched. So to get into a song, I would have to like try to get up there. So I don't sing perfectly by any means, but I could carry a note and try to hit what I want to hit. So
Who would you compare yourself to?
100% up and down Juice WRLD. If anybody says anything different, you got to get your head straight.
Yeah, this man.
That's your favorite artist.
Favorite artist right here.
Yo, respect.
Juice WRLD's been my favorite rapper since he blew up. Like just straight up.
Bro.
One of the greatest
literally
freestylers, one of the
greatest
greatest
artists.
rappers
Oh,
of all
my God,
time.
hour-long freestyle.
Go into
Come
the
on
booth,
now.
record 10 songs a day.
Rest in peace.
And then tell you to pick one?
What? Just take any one of the songs I made.
I wish I could do that, bro.
People don't
I could
understand
do
that
that,
about
like-
Juice WRLD. That's what he.
Yeah, if you're
The
not a
fact
real
that he was
musician, you
doing
don't
that-
understand that.
Exactly.
That's
The
like
fact that he was
really
writing
hard to
songs
do.
like that.
To even, number one, to freestyle. What a lot of people don't out there understand is your favorite artist does not freestyle. Your favorite artist gets the beat sent to them, and then a week in advance, he's writing that. And then he's gonna go spit that. Juice WRLD,
I'm doing that.
off the top. I ain't even Juice WRLD didn't even hear the
dome,
beat, and it's off the top of the dome.
He's just walking in
He
the
would go over
studios
the beat too.
and just
100.
spitting
He
on
would
a
go
beat
over
that
the
he's
beat.
never heard before.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro,
And then did it
and that's
again,
a song.
and then again.
Over and over and over.
That
and
song's
over
going
for hours on
platinum.
end.
Exactly.
Y'all can never.
Yeah, like no, like it's a banger. It's always a
Yeah,
banger. Like,
so that's 100%
He had like at
inspiration.
least 4 different versions of Graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the song with NBA YoungBoy Bandit. There's a whole nother version
I
of
love
it.
Yeah.
I love both versions, honestly.
OG version is so
So good,
crazy.
so good.
So good.
that's actually absolutely
Yeah.
insane.
Juice
So
WRLD,
big.
I think when Juice WRLD blew up was when I started really listening to music.
I
Like
put
that's
him
when I
on a
started
Juice
like
WRLD.
because I was like always big into music, but I never like had a favorite artist.
Yeah.
Until like he blew up, and then like I started taking like music immediately became like
Same
my
thing with me.
favorite thing.
That's I literally studied like I knew a lot about music before and like the concepts of music and how to make it, but Juice WRLD was like that's literally the way I like go into making a song. The way the chorus is constructed, the chorus has to be catchy. It has to be in your head. I want you to care about the chorus more than you care about my verse, because you're gonna come back for the chorus, not the verse.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to do. It's definitely Juice WRLD up and down.
You know, when I listen to your music, I actually got very early A Boogie vibes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And because, like, you know, you were talking about, like, fuck love, fuck this, fuck that. And so I resonated. I was like, all right, I fuck because I love early A Boogie.
Russ
Early A
too.
Boogie's fire.
Yeah.
Russ too. He got a lot of Russ in there.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
heard a lot of Russ.
There's a
in
lot
too.
in there.
Absolutely.
The A
Lots
Boogie,
of
I
them.
like that though. I didn't peep that at first, but the A Boogie, I do appreciate that because he's a
can hear
staple in New York.
Yeah,
like
he's a
that's
staple.
No, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when we're talking about music, oh, do you have a question?
Yeah. Speaking of the sounds, when I listened to Showtime, the first thing I said was, "I feel the Travis Scott in this song."
Oh,
I
100%.
was like, I
We
can
were
feel
we
the
were in
Travis
the
Scott.
car.
when it
We were
starts to
in
end
the
and
car
you hear
today.
Jack
Yeah,
come back
I
in.
was like,
Right at the end.
Crazy.
I was like, God.
Pitching down your vocals is a beautiful thing. Everyone should try it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to talk about another song of yours, Jack, Real Love. What was it like with the process of that? Because I know you were with Evan, your producer. at the
Yeah, I was
time,
working with
and then
Evan
Carly.
Project back then.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend back then called Carly.
Yeah.
You know, good friend of mine still to this day.
That's great.
And I knew how good of a singer she was. We did theater together back in
Yeah.
high school and everything. So I hit her up about it, and she was very much down to make the song. Evan sent me the beat. I wrote my part to it, and I gave it to her and let her do whatever she wanted. And then one day, you know, we recorded it, and it turned into what it is today. And I still love that song. That song's great. You know,
it's like your most listened to song on SoundCloud, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What is
Surprisingly.
it, 57K?
Yeah, 57K.
Which is crazy. I don't even know how that happened.
I saw it, I was like,
Wild.
oh,
Crazy. But now, yeah, all love to her, you know, to this day. And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I was about to
Speaking
say.
of it, you know, we gotta talk about something. You were on an MTV Snapchat show.
Yeah, this man was.
You
This
were.
man was an
It was
MTV.
called, it was called Wrong Distance, I think.
Wrong
Something
Distance
like that.
Relationship.
Boy, was it wrong.
And he had a segment. Oh my god, I remember seeing that. I was like, the boy Jackie made it.
So what was it like recording with MTV?
It was interesting because, you know, that was the first time, you know, they put a microphone on my chest and they had the camera in my face. It was like, all right, like, yeah, this is like real. Like, this is happening. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, you know, at that time, me and Carly, you know, we were talking and she had got the opportunity through her school at NYU and she signed us up for it. And, you know, we went through the whole process and it was a very interesting process. A lot of interviews, a lot of Skype interviews. But once we got to the end of it, they liked us a lot and they picked us. And, you know, it was an interesting experience for sure. Definitely glad I went through it. And I met a lot of cool people on the way. A lot of my producers are awesome. Shout out to Hoff Studios and Viacom. But yeah, honestly, it was a very interesting experience. I saw a side of entertainment I've never seen before, you know, like the behind the scenes. So definitely something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And it was fun. It was fun.
I remember when that first came out.
Yeah,
I was on Snapchat. I was like,
every time
I didn't even have to look at it. I didn't even have to look it up or anything. It just said, I just saw Jack's face.
Yeah, it was
and I
right
like,
there. I said, is that
I was
Jack?
like,
That was a
that's
weird first feeling when I
crazy.
saw that. I was like, all right, yeah, that's my face. And I know like a lot of other people can see this as well. And it was just like,
That's dope.
It's
I was like, wow.
insane.
it was my first little, like, I guess, taste of, you know, some type of exposure.
Yeah, well, while we're talking about, like, when we're, like, kind of off the topic of music, what are, like, your hobbies outside of music?
Definitely sports. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I see your hat,
Yeah.
of course. You know,
Knicks guy.
they won last night. You
yes,
know,
sir.
let's go
Yes, sir.
Knicks.
Go look with the steal.
He don't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it.
Boys are winning,
That's
bro.
right.
He doesn't want to hear it. The Knicks are
you a
I was a
winning.
KD fan, so once he came
okay,
here, I was very
okay.
happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
They're
right.
probably winning the chip this
Yeah.
year.
Nah, yeah.
counting,
Harden.
man?
Pick it up.
Don't get me wrong. Harden's
kinda
my
the
favorite
all-stars
player.
they
If
have
he
on the
wins a
team, right?
ring, Harden wins a ring, I'm a very happy man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, sports. You know, Giants, Yankees, Islanders. Love all them. Love going to the beach. I just got back from a skiing trip too.
All right.
Just switched it up.
dope.
But yeah, just got back from a skiing trip. It was my brother's bachelor weekend. That was a lot of fun. Skiing up in Vermont. Definitely the beach. I mean, the beach is amazing. The beach is
I
on
mean,
Long Island.
we're on Long Island.
We're 10 minutes
Yeah, how
away
could you
from
not
some
love
of the
that beach
nicest
on Long
beaches in
Island?
New York.
Yeah,
It's,
honestly.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
You're an hour away from the Hamptons. Hour away from the city too.
We're right in the sweet spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
A lot of my hobbies though, like
Just expensive.
they all pretty much revolve around music, listening to music, making music, critiquing music, just like listening to new artists, finding new artists, and doing other stuff like this. Anything that has to do with entertainment or content making, just any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. That's cool. What about you, Malik? I know you hoop. I know you hoop.
Yeah,
When I
basketball.
tried out at the basketball team sophomore year, bro. That's the most embarrassing time of my
Listen, man, I made it and it wasn't even that fun.
Bro, I
Trust
was
me.
like, it's high school.
Nah,
It
he
can't be
was
that
tough.
tough. Bro, I went there. I was gassed the first
It wasn't
5
even the
minutes.
basketball. It was the fucking conditioning.
Yeah, bro,
I was
literally-
tight too, making the team. I was like, bro, what are we doing? I'm already on the team, coach. What are we doing, bro? Why are we running?
Bro, it was like, I don't even remember what it was, bro. But he had us running so
Suicides,
many
bro.
suicides.
So many
that shit had
suicides.
me killed. I was like, I don't even care.
So many suicides.
I was with you. I was like, do I even want to do this anymore, bro?
I
Like,
did
what are
so
we
many
doing?
suicides a week just to get benched an entire game and not play when we're down
That shit was funny
35.
as hell.
That's a true story. We were down 35 to Chaminade
Coach
in the
wouldn't put him
third quarter, and the coach never put me in.
I'm on the court, like, bro, what's going on?
My
Yo,
family
Jack
was there.
Like,
No,
Your family was
Yo, he
there?
goes,
No,
I
they
said
were
again,
though.
my family's there. I was like, I don't know.
They were all looking at me on the other side of the court. I'm like,
Yeah, they're like, Jack,
I don't know what you want me to
Are you
do.
gonna get in, honey?
I said something to the coach. He's like, yeah, I got you.
No, he did not. He did not.
And that's why I do music.
But yeah, basketball definitely. Interesting enough, I like to watch podcasts. I don't know if you guys watch the Joe Budden podcast. Definitely a favorite of mine. Andrew Schultz, Flagrant 2, definitely a favorite of mine.
Andrew Schultz, hilarious.
Yo, funniest dude ever, bro. Besides that, podcasting, music, sports. You know, chill with the lady sometimes.
Yeah,
Besides that,
Okay,
sir.
and yeah, that's pretty much it.
You guys play
Like to
video games?
smoke.
You guys play video games?
2K.
Oh, of course.
2K,
2K. 2K, big Madden. with me and my roommate up at school.
Warzone vibes, yeah.
Yeah,
Warzone sometimes, yeah.
Or next episode, we're actually gonna get a pro. You guys know Valorant? Know the game Valorant? You ever heard of CS:GO?
No, what is that?
What is
Their games were they're all computer games. They're PC games.
PC.
Oh,
They're
they're
PC
PC
games.
games.
They're
Yo,
the best
PC
games.
shooters.
Yeah.
They're like they're different mechanics. It's like search and destroy on COD, right? But you got to stand still to aim pretty much. So you got to learn how to maneuver around your aim, right?
And-
so next week we're gonna get a pro Valorant player, which is basically the same game except with Overwatch.
Wow.
So next week, we're getting a pro Valorant
It's
player.
like
that's awesome.
It's like Overwatch and CS:GO, like
Yeah.
smashed
Oh,
together.
Rocket League. I've been getting into Rocket League.
I suck
My
at Rocket
roommate,
League.
shout out to Giddy and Tully. My roommate has been getting me very much into
I suck at
Rocket League.
I don't know.
used to
I don't
play
know if you
Rocket League.
remember. This was I forget. I think this was senior year, our winter concert. I had my Switch in the practice room, and you and I played Rocket League for like 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
It
That was the best.
I don't know why.
The practice rooms are the best.
Oh,
You could do whatever you wanted in there.
Bro, Rocket League, you be seeing the craziest moves in that
Yo,
game, bro.
I
You
don't
be
even
seeing the
understand how
craziest
it
shit.
happened.
It makes me not want to play it.
seriously.
Yeah,
You
no,
take
I'm
the
never
game
gonna
way
do
too
that.
serious,
We
bro.
used
guys
to
are, like,
play
sweating
it
and
when
I'm
it
over here
first
just trying to
when
hit
it-
the ball.
Bro,
Like,
when
let
the
me hit
game
ball,
first
They're not
dropped,
even sweating,
hitting
they're
it against
drenched.
the wall was some iconic shit you've never seen
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
And now people are doing like backflip, frontless, hit it with the back of their tires.
People
I
are, like,
watched my
jet
roommate
boosting, like,
play and
flying
another
the
one of my
entire
friends,
map.
Franco. I watched him play, and I'm just in awe. I
It's
was
just-
like, I don't know how you
It's one of
guys
those
do
games
this.
where it's like it's hard to get it's hard for me to get into it, but once you get into it, it's just such a grind.
Yeah.
Oh no, it
just
is.
go
And then
in,
there are
it's just-
people who have mastered even the trash power-ups.
Yeah.
Seriously.
People out here rocking with the boot.
People are I watched this guy hit the ball to switch places with the enemy to hit the ball into the goal. I was like, your
crazy.
IQ
The game
is
is crazy.
6,000. Like, what is happening?
But yeah,
Like,
me
you're
and Kash have been
brain,
playing
dude.
2K on
Like, slow
PC,
down.
but I don't have a controller. So playing that shit on keyboard,
How do you do that?
You cannot play
it
with
took
a
me like a
keyboard.
solid month and a half just to learn momentum.
How do you shoot?
Him playing,
It's like the number pad on the right. You have
Yo,
to
what
press
the
like
fuck?
five. It's so
him playing
you gotta
2K on a
hold it.
keyboard
Yeah,
is
you
the
have to
funniest
gotta hold
thing
it
I
down.
You
ever
probably
seen.
hear Matt just.
You just hear it the whole time. You don't use the mouse at all.
I
So
bought an Xbox controller specifically.
Yeah,
to
let's
play
go,
2K.
LeBron.
That would make sense if you use the mouse to like move the player. I
yeah.
could see that happen.
Or to
yeah, I
dribble.
thought that's how you
point-
dribble.
I was like,
Point
you're
and
gonna move
click
the mouse to
2K?
dribble. Like,
Damn, bro. So
literally-
you dribbling with the fucking.
Yeah, you have to dribble with the right number pad. So it's like, let me show you how to do momentum real quick. Ready? You have to do it's like
We should try that one day.
yeah. I thought about recording a video and like streaming it
Get
or
shit
something like
face
that.
and just play
Yeah, it's
2K
like-
on the
it's
computer.
WA, and then all of a sudden you got to do like this. You have to do the momentum with the keyboard.
I gotta
so you
spell
like
words
that.
to move, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out of here.
You gotta spell the word dribble.
You gotta make
This is my road to
you have to be like
99.
a type god. You gotta type dribble.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like
crossover.
it's like those elementary school games where it's teaching you how to spell words and you spell the
If
word.
you want a crossover, spell crossover.
Exactly.
You're not
My
gonna do
goal
it
though
fast
is to become
enough,
the
I'll
best
tell you
keyboard
that.
player on 2K though.
Oh
I'm on
my
goals.
God.
I'm getting there. You know what I mean?
Hey, you
Yeah.
got the nice fingers, I guess.
You know, it happens. You know,
Yeah.
I learned momentum. That's an accomplishment for me. Behind the back,
Absolutely.
it's not possible. But, but yeah, all right. So now we winding down. We ain't got that much time left. So this is probably gonna be the last question. But Jack, when you texted him about bringing Malik, you said you guys were like Batman and Robin with this music stuff, right? Now who's Batman and who's Robin?
See, I just said that as an analogy. You know, we're both Batman, honestly.
Oh,
There's no Robin.
we
Nah,
were
Robin-
like a double Batman.
It's Batman and Batman. That was just an analogy. I don't know. Scooby and Shaq is.
If anything, it's like Batman and Superman because Jack is he's a good person at
Yeah.
the end of the day. So like he's always gonna do the right thing. And I'm just Batman at the end of the day in the costume.
He's a vigilante?
Just beating up.
Yeah.
I'm just beating
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, doing your thing, you
Just out
know?
here.
Just trying to do something.
I'm scarred from the past. This is all I'm doing it
Yeah.
for. He actually doing it for a reason. You know what
that
I'm
was,
saying?
that was heat.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
All right. That's
All
cool.
right,
All
let's
right.
see.
Let me ask the most important question.
I swear to God.
I'm nervous.
So,
I'm nervous.
what would it take, either one of you, to get me featured on one of your songs?
Shit, right now, bro. I don't care.
Go for it.
That's all he needs.
That's
That's all he
the
needs.
episode of the 0 to 100
You know-
podcast.
The thing is, he was willing to play business. He was gonna offer money.
I was already like, yo,
You already
I was gonna be like,
Talk to him about that,
I was
man.
like,
He's
how
all
much
for
money
it.
do I have in my bank
Nah.
account? They got it.
Bro, honestly, anybody who wants to make music and just wants to like make a song, if you think that I'm making great music or whatever, honestly, holla at me and I'll do a song with you, whatever. I don't care. We could be screaming on the song.
Honestly,
I'm
great
just
is an
down.
understatement.
We could be screaming on the song
that's
like
like
Mario
that shit.
Judah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make
I
a
was
Mario
listening to
Judah
that
type
shit.
beat.
Yo, Mario
That's
Judah
just
type beat.
I don't even care,
We
bro.
were in the car and he played
the fuck is
365
Mario
and I was
Judah?
like,
That shit hit your
He
soul.
felt
man.
it. He was like, oh.
He was like, I should text her. I should text her.
All right. That's where we wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next week.
Make sure to
Shout out
follow.
SMB Hit Factory.
Yeah, make sure to follow these guys on social media. All right, guys, have a good one. There we go.
Oh, it's all
She's just feeling down now.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, what is going on, guys? And it is. Wow, I really fucked that up.
Yeah.
I really fucked that up.
What just came
No,
out
I'm
your
good.
mouth?
I just really fucked. I'm mad at myself
He hasn't
now.
done the intro for like 5 episodes.
Wow, that fucks me.
Happens to the best.
Yeah, it does happen to the best of
Honestly.
us.